Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. Navigating success with an intellectual development and physical disability is today's conversation on Unique, Not Different with Shamla.
Good morning, guys, and welcome to Unique Not Different with me, Shamla. And today I have Nabila Doily, and I also have her mom, who is a transport engineer. Nabila has multiple disabilities, but she still, as a teen and a youth, she still, contributes to society. So today we are here to listen about Nabila's story. So good morning, Nabila. And can I ask Nabila, what motivates you?
My phone, um, uh, a friend, yeah, and um, and about mommy.
Oh, awesome. So, mom, Catherine, mom, who is Catherine Agong? Catherine is a transport engineer, but Catherine also was part of starting a business for Nabila, who is the production assistant. So, can you tell us the inspiration between Island Mood, body care, candles, and soaps, and how it ties in into Nabila's future with
Well,
disability?
thank you. I started a business because Nabila is 19 now, and I'm planning for her future. And although opportunities for employment are really, small in the country at the moment for people with disabilities, I wanted her to have some occupation after school. Of course, it won't be a job in the same way you and I have a job, but she'll have something to do. She'll have the opportunity to possibly meet people and earn a little bit of money for herself and have the pride for doing that. So it's all on social media, the Island Mood, and people could sign up to our email list to hear more about what we're up to
What
on
is
our
the
plans.
email? What is the email?
Right. So we're trying to get 2,000 people to sign up to our email marketing list. So if
Okay.
there's 2,000 viewers who are happy to, support and who enjoy handmade beauty products, they can go to our social media, the Island Mood on all social media, and just click on our link tree, and there they'll find a link to the sign up for the email marketing.
No problem. I will be one definitely.
Right.
Um, so Catherine, Nabila has multiple disabilities, as the intro would say. She has an intellectual, behavioral, and a physical disability. What is your biggest fear? Having a child with multiple disabilities.
Well, my biggest fear is obviously the inevitable. When I pass away, how would she cope? Because we're like this, at the moment we're always together, and I support her a lot because of her disability. So that's one of my biggest fears. And my other biggest fear is that she may not be able to reach her full potential because people with disabilities need support from the state, support from the community, and in some areas it's a bit lacking. Where education is concerned, you have to pay for her education, which I don't think is right, but we move on. I'm grateful she has access to some education, and where sports and opportunities for employment and all these things are concerned. I feel sometimes that people with disabilities, including people like Nabila with intellectual disabilities, are sometimes left out. I'm sure it's not on purpose, but I guess that's where I come in to advocate for people like Nabila who have disabilities.
And that being said, what can the wider population do to support or creating an environment for effective employment for youth with disabilities?
And what I think, first of all, I think the community, including the government, have a role to play in understanding exactly what their needs are and to understand their strengths, weaknesses, and so on, and to see within existing roles and existing sectors in the country where their strengths will fit into a business or an organization. I noticed that the youth development policy has mentioned people with disabilities a lot in it. However, the youth programs that have been implemented so far are silent on whether or not people with physical and intellectual disabilities are included. I'd love to get her into the agriculture program because they do a lot of agriculture in her school. And, I've got her involved in other courses. We sit side by side on the computer and I translate or differentiate what's being taught in a way that she could absorb and understand and benefit from as well.
What, how parents can voice their feedback, concerns, and give, constructive advice to governmental bodies.
Well, first of all, I want to encourage parents and carers of people with disabilities, especially children with disabilities, to have courage, to not be afraid of speaking out, and to advocate wherever they can, basically write to their MPs if they're having an issue or they want to make a suggestion. I've even messaged people, DM'd people who are in positions of influence and said, hey, this is an issue. Could you look into it? Or also well done for doing so and so and so and stuff like that. So I think people have to be courageous and use all sorts of opportunities to advocate, even if we're on a maxi or anywhere, I take her everywhere with me. And I get the impression that people are surprised to see her out and about. If she's in her wheelchair, she's in her walker. And I use those opportunities as well to advocate for people with disabilities.
Awesome. And what was a major obstacle that you faced bringing up, Nabila, who has a disability, and you still face it as of today?
A major obstacle, I think, obviously it's financial obstacles because we have to pay for a lot of services. Yeah, everything. I could speak on behalf of other parents who may have a child with disability as a special diet, even transport services. The cost of transport could be higher for a person with disability because if they can't, provide their own transport, they're reliant on paying a taxi or so forth because our public transport system is not yet developed to fully accommodate people with physical and intellectual disabilities, I might add. So I think that there's really good things are happening out there, but there's always room for improvement.
Yeah. What advice would you give other parents, especially new parents, who have this, newly discovered that their child has a disability?
Advice. A new parent, I would say listen to the medical professionals. Be honest when you take your child for assessment, especially when they're babies and they ask them, about the developmental milestones like crawling and sitting up. If they're not doing that, don't say yes, they're doing it, because that will just lengthen the time that it takes for you to get the, targeted help, whether that's social or medical intervention as needed for the child. Create a support system with friends and family and, people like social workers, and to always be positive and to be compassionate to people who are not in the disabilities community, because we kind of live in separate worlds, and somebody who is not intimately involved in the disability community may not have a full understanding. So, yeah, that's my advice to
Yeah.
new parents. Just be positive and everything will work out for sure.
Yeah. So, Catherine, Nabila, I want to say thank you, Catherine. I really want to have you back because, as I mentioned in the beginning, you are a transport planner and a transport engineer who has served in the industry and is still serving and has a lot of experience. So, really, I want to have you back to talk about you as a profession, as a subject matter expert. And I want to say thank you, everyone, for tuning into this week's segment of Unique, Not Different. But before I go, Nabila, can you tell everyone goodbye?
Bye.
Awesome. So with that being said, be good, do good. Until next week, guys. Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.